Well, we've heard all about April showers, but no one wants April snow showers. But today the snow is gone, the sun is back, and the Pirates will try to avoid being swept by Colorado. The Bucks and Rockies begin right now on AT&T Sportsnet.
He struck him out! Clear the deck! Cannonball coming!
Spring has sprung here at PNC Park, and this afternoon we got baseball for you. The series finale, it's the Pirates and the Rockies here from Pittsburgh. And for the Pirates, having all the kids here today, maybe that'll cheer them on to a victory. They're looking to salvage one against Colorado, who has taken the first 2 games of this brief 3-game homestand. And welcome into the booth. Joe Block and Bob Walk with you here today as the Pirates bats looking to try to get things going. They got a very good pitching performance last night from Trevor Williams, but the Bucks bats over the last couple of series, Bob, have not performed like they did in the first dozen games this year.
Everything was really clicking early on. It was everything. We had guys hitting for average. We had a lot of home runs. The runs period were just outstanding. One thing that I'm looking at right here, though, look at those walks. They've been cut in half of late. You know, I don't know if that's just the pitching's been doing that to us, or are we starting to be less selective, but I would like to see that walk rate get back up to 4. If that happens, I think the bats will wake back up.
And the Pirates still leading the National League in runs scored so far this season, and we'll see what they do with Chad Kuhl today, who has had a rough and tumble first 3 starts of this season, but we saw him to be very capable in the second half of last season. What do you expect today?
And look and see what he's done here at PNC Park. He's very comfortable pitching here. I think it comes down to control with him. We know he has fantastic stuff. Great sharp break to his breaking pitches, especially that curveball. Throws very hard. When he puts the ball where he wants to, he's going to shut down the other team. Hadn't been doing that at the start of this season. Hopefully that changes today. I want to see him put the ball where he wants to.
Now, the Rockies hit a lot of home runs, but they also have the lowest batting average in the league. And the Pirates will try to get 1 out of the 3 against the Rockies here today. Grab a game before they hit the road. It's the Pirates and the Rockies coming up next here on AT&T Sportsnet.
Bordis and Bordis. Bordis and Bordis, fighting for justice. And by Day Automotive, we're gonna make your day. Let's go Bucks!
And the weather a lot better here today, as we're going to have the series finale for you. Sunny. Temperatures expected to get into the 50s today. Chad Cool. No long sleeves needed. Finally, we have some spring baseball weather here in Pittsburgh. And a big day for Cool, as we mentioned. Trying to get himself right after some rocky starts. No pun intended against this Rocky lineup that has been pretty darn good so far this season. Tied for the baseball lead in home runs, though a low batting average, but they have been able to win the first 2 games of the series largely with their pitching. And a day where the hitters will probably be a little bit more comfortable at the plate. Here is the lineup for Bud Black's Rockies. DJ LeMahieu back atop the order with Iannetta moving into the 2 spot. Charlie Blackmon with 7 home runs. Carlos Gonzalez cleans up. Ian Desmond at first. Trevor Story 4 hits in the series, including a home run. McMahon, Tachman, and Freeland. A couple of rookies preceding the pitcher at the bottom of the Rockies order. And again, no Nolan Arenado serving the final game of his suspension today.
There's Chad Cool's numbers. I mean, we talked about him a little bit now already. That for me today, we're going to be looking at that the command. Is he going to get the slider out on the edges? Is he going to be able to put the fastball in and out? And even if he throws some fastballs down the middle, you know, I think he's fine with that because he's got such great life. He can get movement. He got sink on his pitches, but no snap hook fastballs, you know, in the dirt way outside, and keep the slider out of the middle of the plate. And if he can throw that hook for a strike when he wants to, I mean, that's gravy. He'll be very tough if he does that.
Those will be the bellwethers of his success today. The Honda defense behind him. Sean Rodriguez gets to start in left with Marte, and then Adam Frazier in right. Freeze Mercer Moroff with his first start this year, Bell. And then Diaz, his battery mate, in all 4 of his starts this year. There's Max Moroff in his first start after being recalled the other day. And DJ LeMahieu in that top spot for the Rockies has shown some early power, but known for his batting average. Best in the league since 2015.
Yeah, not the way I was hoping. You know, really to see Cool get started here. It's 3-0 count. There we go.
And the umpiring crew today: Jerry Davis is the crew chief, Pat Hoberg, Dan Isonia, and Jeremy Rayak. The Murraysville native, I beg your pardon, over at third. And starts the game off with a walk. Trevor Williams, 2 runs in 6 innings yesterday. Certainly pitched well enough to win and gave up just 4 hits, but got the L.
Yeah, I mean, he did the same thing last year. Really, you know, once he got settled in that rotation, he proved that he was one of our most reliable starters. He's done nothing here at the very beginning of the season to change that fact at all. If nothing, he's even looking better.
1.93 ERA for Williams, 4 starts in.
I think it was definitely the beard. I see those first highlights when he first got up here, and I'm like, always, who is that guy?
Not allowed to have facial hair in the Pirates minor leagues. You start growing it when you get called up. And it's been going for a little while now. Rockies definitely sporting some facial hair too. There's Chad Bettis.
I'm in support of him. I started one about 10 days ago.
Oh, wow.
It's starting to come in.
1-1 on Iannetta, and Diaz busy already. What are we looking at here?
Well, you got a slider, and he just hooked it way outside, and that's more or less a lucky stop, and that's all. Diaz can do, because it was so far outside. It just, you can't get out there in time. You can't block it. You got to try and field it like you're a first baseman, and he pulled it off.
That one down the middle, but fouled away. Iannetta in his career here at this ballpark just 5 for 50, but he had an important double in game 1 of this series that scored LeMahieu after a leadoff walk to begin the game. Colin Moran not getting the start today. Looped out toward Frazier.
Oh man, he went into that wall pretty hard, but jumped right up. He did the right thing. He went in feet first, so he could use his legs to kind of, as like big springs, kind of cushion that blow. But they kind of got caught up and spun him around once he hit that fence. See, look at his foot get caught underneath. See that?
Yeah, the cleats got caught in that chain link fence there.
I mean, he could have broke his ankle.
Gregory Polanco's had trouble with that short wall out there before too. I can't go into it standing.
His foot went right underneath the fence. I thought he just kind of got his cleats, caught in the chain link a little bit, and that's why he spun around, but his foot was in there.
Appears to be okay.
Yeah.
Cool still ahead of Iannetta.
There we go.
Cleans up the leadoff walk.
That's another weapon of Cool's that we used to talk about constantly when he first got up here.
Great point.
We don't talk about too much anymore, but he does have a pretty good sinker, a two-seam type fastball which was his bread and butter coming up through the minor leagues, where he can get a ground ball when he wants to, but just like the other pitches, it goes to control. You have to throw that sinker down where you want to. A high sinker out over the plate doesn't do you any good most of the time.
I got that one on the inner edge.
Tailor-made ground ball for a double play.
You like when the bases are empty for Charlie Blackmon. Iannetta does not run particularly well, so Blackmon down a strike.
It's almost, I've got to where I identify players by color and shape of beard, or is the beard mixed with long hair, is the beard got short hair? Like Moran, for instance, when we saw that shot of Moran, I knew that it was his because he had the red beard. The beards are coming very commonplace, so you got to use what you got. They're almost better than numbers.
Yeah, that's all you need to do. Hit the other way. Rodriguez with a play. And Cool recovers nicely to face the minimum in the first. First time this series the Rockies held scoreless to the first frame. first. And the RAV4 lineup for Clint Hurdle's Buccos today. Adam Frazier topped the order playing in right field with Mercer batting second. Starling Marte, 5-game hitting streak, 9 hits in that span as well. Bell cleans up with Freese batting fifth. Sean Rodriguez, Elias Diaz, Max Moroff, the 8-hitter, and then Chad Kuhl.
I look at the numbers. Kyle Freeland, nothing really great right there. ERA, probably about average for nowadays. But the one thing that kind of jumps off at me is he's not really a super hard thrower or anything. Kind of a little bit of a soft tosser, medium, middle of the road type guy at best. And that's of late the guys that kind of seem to be giving us a hard time. The guys that throw a good changeup or have a good curveball, something like that. That's what got everything started that first game down in Miami, where you saw for the first time the offense kind of look mortal. So I'm curious today how this bench type of lineup does against a guy that's not going to go out there and really challenge you with his fastball at times.
Let me float an idea at you. We were talking about in the open how the Pirates have not walked as much lately, and maybe those type of guys usually are better with
Control
command, right?
Point.
Yeah.
Very good. I didn't think about that. The softer throwers are normally some of your better control guys, or at least they try to be, because they know that's the way they have to pitch. That's a good point. That could be why the walks per 9 innings kind of cut in half of late. Yeah, there's a breaking ball for a swing and a miss. That's what we've been seeing.
So Frazier retired by Freeland. And Colorado's defense today with Mike Tauchman getting the start in left. Charlie Blackmon in center. Carlos Gonzalez in right. Ryan McMahon, Mann's third in Arenado's absence. Story and LeMahieu in the middle. Desmond at first. Chris Iannetta is behind the plate. And Tauchman his second career start in left field. That is a first opening day roster assignment this year. We'll see how his arm is out there. I haven't gotten a look at him really yet. Saw Parra throw out a runner out in left field at second base yesterday. Jordy Mercer moves higher up in the order against the lefty.
Threw out a pitcher at second base. That's half an assist. I don't think you don't get a full assist on that.
Now Parra's got a good arm out there.
Yeah, he does.
But yeah, he only get a half.
Which was another reason why he should have only got a half assist on that.
There's the lineup for the Pirates today. A lot of bench guys getting some action against the left-handed starter. Day game after a night game. Time for that. Yeah, Moran getting the day off today. Even though he's shown he can hit lefties in the minor leagues. Same thing with Corey Dickerson in the early going. But yeah, trying to get everybody some work.
Yeah, you do. I think it's I'm going to look here real quick to see if the numbers have changed. I looked at them a couple days ago.
5 for 10 for Dickerson. You'd pointed that out to me against lefties to start the season.
Dickerson's still in there. Moran has dropped out of the top 10.
There's Corey, the ex-Rocky.
But I looked the other day, Moran and Dickerson were in the top 10 in the National League in hitting left-handed pitching, which obviously is a little surprising. You don't expect to see your left-hand hitters dominating that.
Driven out toward right. Well, Gonzalez with room. So the first two men retired by Kyle Freeland. And the name of the game is scoring runs. And with Starling Marte coming up, you think about what he does out of that number 3 spot, our Barrel Automotive League leaders. He's still among the league leaders in scoring runs, despite being the third hitter, not the leadoff hitter, But then you look at Harper, he's hit 8 home runs. He's driven himself in half those times. The rest of the guys are guys that bat at the top of the order. Makes sense. First or second. Eight hits in his last 12 for Marte, has that average up to 308. We're talking about, you know, Polanco getting the day off today. He's 1 for his last 20. Josh Bell in there today, but
he's hitting right-handed today.
Yeah.
It's like the left-hand hitting Josh Bell got the day off.
That's a great point. But I think that, you know, what's been interesting is there's been somebody hitting, even though the Pirates were shut out yesterday. There's Bell. There's been somebody hitting, usually 2 or 3 guys, and sometimes 5 or 6, all season for the Pirates. It's not like they've gone completely dry all at once. And there would be long spells last season where no one was hitting for a long period of time. So it's good to see, at least here in the early going, that you've got 8 candidates every night that, you know, got some guys that you think can sustain something and go right at the plate.
I like that shot there. That emphasizes what I was saying earlier.
93.
Yep. Came upstairs on him, even though it was just 93. It acted like it was about 97.
Just got to look at Jeremy Rayak. He's a native of Marysville, PA, went to Franklin Regional High School and called the balls and strikes for the first time in his career in a big league game right here. And after the game, they allowed us to access into his clubhouse and he discussed what that was like.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Kind of a dream come true. I came to PNC Park and Three Rivers as a kid growing up, and here I am calling balls and strikes in PNC Park. So it's pretty unique experience. It's kind of surreal.
Yeah, certainly it was. He had his parents here at this series, his wife at the series. He's in his 3rd year in AAA, is Jeremy Rayak, and was started the spring training rotation, I should say, last year and then again this year, which was pretty cool. And as if that wasn't cool enough, a guy from Latrobe, Jansen Visconti, was called up and made his big league debut last night, Joe, in Toronto, working that series. So how cool is that? 2 Pittsburgh guys making their first foray into the big leagues within the last week.
Well, thanks for that report, Robbie. And, you know, how tough it is to make the major leagues as a player. You think about that. As an umpire, it's even more difficult.
Oh, much more difficult.
The umpires not play, but they're at their job longer. As Gonzalez has a base hit. And when you don't make it as a AAA umpire, if you don't get that spring training rotation, if you don't get that opportunity to be a call-up umpire, you have to start over after a certain point. You only get so much time to be at AAA. It's not like you can be a AAA umpire for 10 years or 20 years. And that's a tough pill to swallow if you're 10 years into your career and then you have to start over or just go into something else. So great to see Jeremy here. Good luck to Jansen Visconti as well. Maybe we'll see him at some point later on this year. Ian Desmond, who has homered in his career against COL. 172, though. Kind of a microcosm of what the Rockies have done this year, right? Low batting average, lots of home runs.
4 home runs, 172 batting average.
Rockies is a team coming in hitting .215. Lowest in the National League, but tied for the most home runs in baseball as an outfit, 26. Last year they had the highest batting average in baseball. I think it's going to get closer to that once they get some more home games. They've only had six at
home
Coors.
games. That's what I was just looking down at it. That will change. They'll get over there, and summer will heat up a little bit. They'll be in that high altitude. That batting average, the team batting average, will be up amongst the best in the league before the end of June, anyway.
Oh yeah. Cool trying to take advantage on a day with no Arenado.
Gonna take a look at this pickoff throw.
We'll see here. Now the strings of the glove do not count as a tag.
There's the tag.
Oh, there's the tag.
Yep.
Is it clear that his hand's not back in the bag? I think we can assert that, but is it clear? Is it clear and convincing? Pirates are challenging this. Everybody looking at the scoreboard behind the left field bleachers. Look at our Allegheny Health Network Supermo.
Now this is one, it'll kind of show you where the hand is, I think, a little bit better.
Now they can run these in tandem.
Right, and that's what they'll probably do. The other one shows the tag better. This one shows the hand better. This shows the tag. You can't really tell if the hand is touching it or not. As you said, we can kind of figure it isn't, but they'll put those two looks together and make their decision.
Yeah, they can sync them up in real time to, together in New York at the replay center down in the Chelsea district of Manhattan.
Now before the games, you get here real early, you'll see a strobe light flashing behind home plate in almost every ballpark you go to. That's so the cameras can all get synced together.
So because those are super slow motion, those they can't. I'm told that they can't synchronize those because of the how many frames per second, I guess, for those. Maybe a little bit different. So they may have to do a little bit of judging. Meanwhile, Cool trying to stay loose.
When they have the MLB cameras, kind of go up on those poles like batting practice and show fields. I used to think that's what the flashing light was back here, to tell everybody that you're on camera.
And that might have been the difference because they can't sync those super slow-mo cameras. Call stands. Yeah, it's probably not clear and convincing enough.
So we had almost the exact same call the other day overturned, and it wasn't it Marte? It was going back in, got picked off, or I don't remember the exact players. I certainly obviously can't remember their first names for sure, but the point is, I didn't think that day you had clear and convincing evidence, just like on this play, but they overturned it.
That means the Pirates will not have a challenge for the rest of this game. Cracked out toward Marte. Amazing, nice job of hauling that one in. That's where speed really comes into play, huh?
Yeah, you get back there. You're not, if you're a little slower as you're getting to that, you might still get to that ball, but you got to get there on a dead sprint, and that might cost you. Marte's got the good speed to where he gets there early enough to where he can start slowing down, so he's not slamming into that wall and bouncing off and then having to lay there. And
he can get to a spot.
Right. You get to a spot, and then you can say, oh, okay, I got this, and I can start slowing down a little bit.
It's not always those plays that, full speed and having to dive for a ball that.
A lot of times that's the case because you're not very fast.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Sometimes those easy plays are the ones that you go, okay, well. The ability helps it make it easy.
The ability, yeah, to make it look easier than it really is. Some guys have that knack.
Trevor Story. Now the count even. Poole worked around a leadoff walk in the first inning, and now a leadoff single by Gonzalez. There with one out. He's stolen 2 bases, been thrown out once. Story is a candidate to be struck out. Struck out 27 times, among the most in the league.
Cole hadn't been getting too many of those borderline low pitches called strikes until that one.
If he can live down there.
He's thrown some down there. He just
yeah.
The door's been closed. He hasn't been able to live in there. And there's the one that's the bugaboo pitch right there. Where I think he's trying to throw that ball in, wasn't he? And then it just like it doesn't come out of his hand at the right moment. Like it stays in there too long. Drags it all the way to the outside. Sometimes out there in the dirt.
And just hooking fastballs. We've seen that a lot here in the early portion of this season. A lot freer and easier in that, especially in the second half of last season. He really got into a groove. Gonzalez running on 3-2. And Moroff able to secure the second out. We were talking about that Marte catch back a couple of batters ago, and here at home we're afforded the use of StatCast. Let's take a look. So it's about a coin flip chance that even that catch is made, even though it looked so routine from him.
Well, there's no doubt that he's going to make things look routine out there. That's for sure. And that's why he's got a couple Gold Gloves.
Trying to earn one in center field, and he's got that golden patch from his time in left.
Guys wear that with pride when they get to have the gold label.
As well they should. Because if that's not a catch, then like I said, you know, it's a coin flip chance. Well, now Rockies have a run. McMahon drove in a run yesterday. Was a Rockies minor league player of the year last year. Off to a very slow start, 0.97 in intermittent time. Getting a swing and miss on that low fastball. Now you know who that is because of the beard. Right?
Yeah, and you got to mix with the hair in the back. It's the whole hair.
Yeah.
The eye black. It's a look.
Charlie Blackmon. Now Cool has thrown a lot of fastballs, as you mentioned, Bob, right pretty much down the middle today. He's getting a lot of swings and misses on those.
There's another one of those fastballs that he hooked way inside.
And that has been an issue for him.
Now that one wasn't a bad miss because he was trying to throw on the inside corner, but you could still see that it just kind of like almost like shoots in there. There it is. Same one again.
Now Cool said last year, first half of the season, lefties torched him. The second half of the season, he was one of the best pitchers in baseball at limiting lefty power because he could locate down and away to left-handed batters with the fastball.
This fastball is supposed to be outside corner. See where Diaz is setting? Again, you can't block that pitch. One, it's a fastball, so you're not expecting it to bounce, and two, it's getting there so quick and so far outside. You just have to reach out like a first baseman.
Yeah, Cole said the big reason for his success last year in the second half is to locate that fastball down and away, and that's what he was trying to do there, and he missed so widely on it.
And he was able to locate that one decent. He gets an easy fly out.
So nothing doing for the Rocks so far, and the Bucks coming to bat in the second in a scoreless game.
With the ball. That was all right. Smoked in the head there, by the way. That should be worth 10 points, in my opinion. I think they've got to change the rules. In fact, Glenn Mills should have won right there. Oh, that's it.
So this is what you do in the offseason, Bob.
Yeah, Greg and I try to pick up a few extra dollars here and there, so we went out to the West Coast and did a couple of I don't even know the name of that sport.
It's called dodgeball.
Dodgeball games. Yeah, we did some dodgeball games.
Starting to be popular among the 7-8-year-old set.
Yep, you know, I found out Van Nuys is the big dominant team in dodgeball. That's where I was born in Van Nuys.
Then you should have known the name of the sport.
I didn't know that my hometown team was the Yankees of dodgeball. It's incredible. And now I watch it. Huh.
Well, great to know that you're picking up a couple dollars.
Yeah.
Doing a sport you don't know the name of.
I am bad with names, you know that.
Yeah, the details, Oh. You got all the particulars here. Okay, so this is Kyle Freeland right here. There you go.
I like these because they put it in
big bold letters.
Bold print. I don't even have to wear my glasses for that one.
There you go. And then who's the guy there with next to Ivan Nova? Polanco.
Yes, Polanco. Yeah,
oh, right, Polanco.
Yeah.
Okay, that's all you need to know. You had a brain cramp the other day reading on the radio side, reading the lineup, right?
I couldn't think of Gregory to save my life.
It's happened to us all.
No, it hasn't. But thanks for saying that.
Usually for the opposing team, maybe not for the home team, but it happens,
Thanks for bailing me out that day.
Yeah, that's okay. Yeah, no problem. There he is, Tim Williams, something like that.
Stan Williams,
Jason Tyone, and the rest of the Pirates. That is DJ LeMahieu. I know that. 1 out. Since we're having a little fun with the announcers, happy birthday to our own Steve Blass, who celebrates happy number 76 today, and he is down in San Juan today as part of the dedication ceremony to
the birthday cruise down in the Caribbean. It's very nice. What a World Series, of course, that we will always think of when we think of Steve.
Never seen anybody leap so high in the sky after that. I got that same kind of hat from that era. Steve down in San Juan, part of a dedication ceremony for a memorial for Roberto Clemente, with Cleveland and the Twins playing in pair of games at Estadio Irán Bithorn down there, and having a nice opportunity to pay some focus to Puerto Rico. It had a very tough situation going on down.
I had an idea. Everybody's been trying to think of something to do because of the cold weather. Every year have a number of teams cycle through Puerto Rico for games in April.
There you go.
Mainly your cold weather teams. Huh?
I like it. And pay homage to Roberto Clemente. Forever 21.
Could be an idea there.
I like it. Well, the Expos played some of their home games there their last 2 years. That's a heck of a play by McMahon.
That really nice bare hand pickup.
Leaving nothing for David Freese to do on that play. Earlier today, this is part of the dedication ceremony here, as Vera and Roberto Jr. out there in San Juan to show off what is going to be a permanent memorial and a place to remember the great one in San Juan, and thinking about all the baseball greats that have come through there. The Roberto Clemente
Bridge out by his statue. And at the entrance of that bridge. Is that what you call when a bridge starts, an entrance?
Mouth?
I think it has a different name. I don't think
Mouth of the bridge?
No, that doesn't sound right.
It's like mouth of a river, right? Incidentally, this is camera 21. How fitting.
Nice.
And seeing Sean Rodriguez up too, just to point out, he and so many other people involved in that relief effort right at the end of the season, really conjuring the spirit of Clemente and helping out so many folks in Puerto Rico who are still, some folks are still needing help there on the island. And Sean and Francisco Cervelli, and Pirates president Frank Coonley, Bob Nutting, Joey Cora, who helped along with Mike Gonzalez, assistant to the GM, helped spear the effort there. There's Joey, a native of Puerto Rico in Cagua. And later on, other teams following suit. I thought that was really, really great that all the people of Pittsburgh coming in with donations. And,
it seemed like Joey
was wonderful.
Was the original to kind of get that ball going. I mean, Joey really was outspoken right from the very beginning, and everybody just kind of got the idea that, yeah, we got to do this. I think he really deserves a lot of props for that.
Yeah, and Mike Gonzalez as well from Calle, Puerto Rico. So those two really starting to spearhead that, and folks in Pittsburgh, an outpouring of help last September. That was really, really cool to see in the spirit of Clemente. And Sean and those guys were going door to door delivering goods. It was not just, all right, let's hop on a plane and take some pictures and head back. No, they needed people to help, and Sean was among them to go there and father of 4. Eighth pitch of this at bat. Rodriguez stays alive, and I mean, I'm just getting alive and just thinking about what they've been able to do, and so great to see baseball focusing in on Puerto Rico again here this April. As Rodriguez works a 9-pitch walk. There's one of those walks you were hoping for today.
You know, even at 3-2 there, they were a little leery of just laying one in there to Sean. He saw him set up on the outside corner. They were trying to pick that corner out there, and Freeland just wasn't up to the task. Threw it wide for ball 4.
So a free pass from Freeland. Two-out base runner. First one so far for the Pirates. Elias Diaz stinging one.
I thought that was going to hit him right in the middle of the back. Didn't you? It almost looked like the ball went through him.
Felt that way. Diaz has not had a lot of work, but when he has, he's really been swinging the bat well. Little leg kick.
I mean, I don't know how that missed him. Our catchers seem to love hitting with 2 outs. Look at that.
Right past his waist.
Had to have at least kind of brushed him as it went by.
Francisco Cervelli getting a rare day off. And the Pirates, as a catching unit, have the top OPS in baseball. Cervelli and Diaz, when he's been in there, best on base plus slugging of anybody of the catchers out of the 30 teams. Diaz now 6 for 13 at the plate. And 2 on and 2 out for Moroff, who after the All-Star break last year, remember, he didn't get a lot of playing time, but he was up most of the second half. He hit .278.
Yeah, he hit much better. After he had been here a while, he started fitting in better. I think he kind of came to the decision like, hey, I'm just as good as anybody else here. I could do this. And that's such a big hurdle for all young guys to get over. And sometimes guys never get over it. It's always different. You see very confident individuals come up here and in their mind they're an all-star from day one. they got this, but everybody's a little different in that regard.
Showed some power too in that second half of last season. But here the final out. So the Pirates put 2 on him but strand him. And we're scoreless through 2. Okay, well, we won't tell anybody. Principal's not watching. And that's the mother of Jeremy Rayak, who is the third base umpire today, growing up in Murraysville, Franklin Regional grad, and couldn't be a prouder mom to see her son make it to the major leagues. Made his debut last week and been umpiring this series. A call-up umpire from AAA, but getting his first rotations in at the major league level. She couldn't be prouder. Yeah,
hey,
that's my boy.
Got to get your time in. And the way he handled everything behind home plate last night, I didn't remember any discussions with the players about strikes and balls. So.
Yeah, I thought Robbie made a good point in the pregame show today. Yeah, we didn't say anything about him after the first inning. Ultimate compliment for a home plate umpire.
I think Cervelli had like one. Didn't he strike out looking?
He has to say something.
Yeah, which doesn't really count. I mean, knowing Cervelli, he might have been saying, that was a great call you just made.
He just loves to talk.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool quickly ahead, 2 strikes on the opposing pitcher.
Where was that at? Was that Chicago when Cervelli put his hands on the umpire's shoulders?
I don't remember, but it sounds about right. First strikeout for Cool.
They was talking to him about something. And he just put both paws on the shoulders of whoever the umpire was.
Now look at the lowdown here, as the Cardinals will expect to promote Tyler O'Neill, a power hitting prospect, if they play against the Cubs. And Jose Bautista signing a minor league deal with the Braves. They're going to try him back at third base again. And get him some work down in the minors and see if they can use him at the big league level. Now 37 years old.
I mean, why not? If you get him for the right amount of money, it's worth a gamble if he's got some home runs left in him.
I mean, still hit 23 last year and hit 203 for Toronto.
Atlanta off to a fairly decent start. A couple games over 500 at this point.
And 2 quick outs. Bautista has not played third base regularly since 2010. 2011, I should say. Look at our Allegheny Health Network injury update. Anthony Rizzo of the Cubs activated from that back concern, and Christian Yelich of the Brewers had an oblique injury, and he was activated but did not start last night. So a couple of division rivals getting some of their star players back. Postponed at Wrigley today. 25 postponements in baseball here, and just have had an unusually poor weather for spring, but today nice and sunny, warming up into the 50s here today. Up toward the notch and on the roof of the bullpen, Chris Iannetta with a home run.
Well, I don't know if anyone caught Cool's reaction before that ball's even out of the infield. He knows it's gone. I mean, he was very upset with the way it was hit. And then when we see where it lands, then we know why he knew it was gone. Watch his reaction. Didn't even look. He knew it right away.
And even if it was hit toward that notch, still deep enough to get out of here. That was a long blast. 432 feet for Iannetta. Had that double the first game of the series, and now the homer this afternoon.
Just solo home run. Don't let it bother you.
Remember, Iannetta was struck in the face by a Johnny Barbado pitch last May against the Pirates. And in his return to PNC Park, has had a couple of stinging hits. Had not fared well here, very poorly coming into this series, but maybe a little extra motivation. Back with the Rockies for a second tour. Blackman again with 2 outs and the base is clear, but the Rockies having the lead. Pirates have not led in this series after having led in every game at some point this season prior to Monday. But like you said, just a run.
Yeah. I mean, if we're going to win this game, we had to score at least 1 anyway, right?
So far in baseball, that's been a trend.
So don't worry about it. Just get a new one, keep pitching. Act like it was a foul ball. No big deal. Just got to get a new ball from the umpire. Start playing that elevated game of catch.
And he strikes out Blackman.
Man, that's a backdoor curveball.
Iannetta's home run, though, gives the Rockies an early advantage.
Mom, a moment ago, Annette Rayak taking pictures of her son. We're pleased to be joined by Jeremy's parents, the third base umpire, Annette and Eric. Annette, how proud are you of your son to watch him here in his hometown ballpark?
Words cannot express how proud I am of him. He has worked so hard, and he is realizing his dream. It is awesome. God is good.
Very nice. We're glad to see him here. We'll talk to Dad. We talked about the journey that it takes for baseball players to work their way up through the minors. Umpires have to do something similar. How would you describe your son's journey?
It's been a long one. Started in the golf league in rookie ball and went through Tennessee, California, Ohio, now in International League. It's been a long journey, but he made it, kept working hard, and it's awesome.
And last night, you purposely did not come to the game because you wanted to watch him on TV because you get a better look at the balls and strikes. What's your assessment?
That's correct. I've gone to many minor league games, and I never really could tell how good he was behind the plate until I watched it on TV, and I've seen him in spring training, and now I see him, you know, up when he's up in games. So it gives me a good feel for it, and he is really good behind the plate. So
congratulations to you, Bill.
Thank you. Yep.
Annette, congratulations.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Joe, how about that? What a great moment, huh?
Yeah, no, and then thanks for finding them. You know, I just think about how a parent must feel about such an accomplishment like that. And
I thought that was very interesting, talking about watching the game on TV.
Yeah.
And this year we've put the strike zone up on every pitch. So what a great thing for a dad watching his son umpire the plate. I mean, that's fantastic.
Yeah, when he's at Franklin Regional, he got a report card, right? Now
Yeah.
Dad got to do his own report card. Well, he got 92% today. Pretty good. Don't say anything to Mom. Don't tell any stories. That's really funny.
That's good.
That's really funny. Yeah, don't tell stories about me playing with my toy box or whatever as a kid or goofy stuff.
I wonder, do young umpires, at home, do they practice their strike 3 call and stuff?
I wonder.
Get from a mirror, see what it looks like.
It's my one regret is.
I mean, I would, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah.
No.
You got to practice that.
Yeah.
Now, what am I going to look like? Do I want to just something elaborate? Do I want just something short and sweet? What's it going to be like?
Just don't watch the movie Naked Gun.
That's a little too far.
Yeah. How not to?
Or Dutch Renner? Yeah, I mean, he.
Yeah, there have been some very animated umpires.
There's been some that's you're not even real sure. Did he call that a strike? It's the strike 3 that they kind of try and get creative with. Some of them do.
Yeah. Yeah. Jerry Davis been at it a long time.
Long time.
But I think every umpire would tell you the best ones are the ones that you don't hear a lot from. That's the ultimate compliment for them. Kyle Freeland issues a 1-2-3. I think 3 ground ball outs. Rockies still have a 1-0 lead.
In specific, a lot of Pirate fathers. How about that? Bill Moran and Richard Williams playing catch with their sons. Michael hanging with his son Jameson. It's the annual Father's Trip, and how about that? Almost 20 first pitches. I guess it still counts if you're in foul territory, throwing out a first pitch. The team leaves for Philadelphia right after the ball game today, and it is the 6th annual Father's Trip, a record turnout. Joe and Bob, 20 fathers making the trip, and there they are hanging out watching the ball game, wearing their sons' jerseys. We'll hear from Michael Tyone during the ball game tomorrow night. Also in pregame, we'll have a feature package coming up on all the dads and what this is like. We talked to a couple of the newcomers that have never been on this trip that have heard a lot about it. Vince Harrison Sr. has made each and every one and will not pass up a chance to be a part of this as well. And he's kind of not going to surprise you guys. He's the energy father out of all of them. He's the glue that keeps everybody together, and he's friends with every single dad in the team. But the guys should really have a good time, and we'll keep you posted on the progress and any special moments that these dads spend with their kids.
Not surprising at all. Thanks for that, Robbie. And, you know, watching Vince and Josh play catch today, you know, father-son play catch, but Josh had to throw with his right hand, with his glove on that right hand as well, because he can't use his left right now. So still wanting to play catch with Pop on the field before the game. I thought that was sweet.
Hey, you can always figure out a way. That is a neat thing. I like a record turnout.
Yeah.
Man, they have so much fun when we do this. They take those trips. It's not surprising that you have a lot of returning dads and the new ones. They definitely want to jump on board.
You've been a little parrot out today. Shattered Desmond's bat and 2 quick outs for Cool. Yeah, this was the moment before the game today. Yeah, I mean, left 5th metacarpal broken for Josh Harrison, so they found a way to still have a catch anyway. And by the way, as an asterisk to Robbie's report, yes, it does count a ceremonial first pitch from foul territory. That's how it began, right? The president throwing
from
the
the
ball
stands.
from the stands.
To
right.
foul territory.
Right.
First pitch.
William Howard Taft, the 27th president, and the first to be credited for throwing out a ceremonial first pitch at a ball game. And speaking of presidential, we lost former First Lady Barbara Bush, who was passed away yesterday at the age of 92. Really integral in trying to further literacy projects, especially with family literacy as well, and of course wife of George H.W. Bush.
I think really
father of, or mother of George Bush.
Loved by all. I think somebody that kind of crossed party lines in that regard. You have to look long and hard to find anybody say anything bad about her. So and she will be missed.
President Trump ordering those at half staff throughout our country today. Also, some heavy hearts locally too of not just a wrestling legend, but a friend to a lot of people who have met the great Bruno Sammartino as well. Had just a brief chance to meet him a couple years ago, and what a nice man and what an accomplished performer too.
Absolutely. I mean, especially around here. I mean, just beloved.
And meanwhile here, Cool trying for a quick 1-2-3 inning. Has thrown 10 pitches. And Ionetta 3rd inning home run, the lone tally. There's Ryan McMahon on deck, who drew a walk his first time. And he will lose Story, the 3rd free pass issued from Cool today. And hey, kids, you don't want to be missing a chance at an opportunity to be the Moe's Pirates Parrot sidekick before a Pirate game. Fans ages 6 to 14 can join the Parrot in pregame festivities here at PNC Park. Enter for your chance to be the Parrot sidekick at participating Moe's Southwest Grill locations now through May the 6th. Next time you go grab a bite to eat, sign up. That'd be fun. Parrot's got a lot of access. Much better day today. Isn't it great to not see everybody bundled up from head to toe? Yes, you're right on.
It's this is what you think of an April day. It's going to be cool out, but not that frigid weather that we've had the entire time.
This is how you know. Starling last night.
He's the test pilot for all the gear. he can bundle up.
He was wearing 2 gloves last night out there. No, but he had the hood. You know, he had the hood on and the cover his mouth.
Ski mask almost.
Yeah. Much better today. Now behind on McMahon. Getting some work over at third with Arenado finishing up his suspension today. But McMahon, great season in the minors last year. Came up as a third baseman, has played a little first base, but they really like him, especially offensively. Had a good play defensively already today.
Yeah, they're going to have to find a position for him.
It's a good problem to have, right?
I mean, they got the best there is over at third base, so that's not an option whatsoever.
But Bud Black wanting to have him up anyway. He hit 355.
Yeah, that's what we always say about hitters. If they hit, they'll find a place for you to play. When Jay first came up, he was playing all over, and there was always, where were they going to put him? You know, can he do this? What are they going to do? What are they going to do? Well, if he keeps hitting, he'll be in that lineup.
Yeah.
They'll get it figured out, and that's exactly what they did.
Yeah, the first couple of seasons from Adam Frazier, I mean, the way that he's hit. Wanting to find a way to get him in. And that's a luxury that you have when you have a nice bench.
They were, I mean, the plan this year was to give him a lot of playing time in left field until the Corey Dickerson trade.
This was starting to shape up like a quick inning for Cool, but now the Rockies have put 2 on.
Well, I'm wondering right now if he's regretting trying to throw that strikeout curveball in the dirt 3-2 with 2 outs. And now, you know, he's got a runner in scoring position, and it's cost him a bunch more pitches. And it's always about pitch efficiency with him. Can he get past the 5th inning? And now, you know, he's sitting at 69, and still got to get out of the 4th here.
It was looking like he was going to have maybe a 7-8 pitch inning.
He's probably thinking, you know, maybe I should have just kind of, with 2 outs, nobody on, just went after Story a little bit more with strikes.
Reminder, Bucks and Pucks.
Maybe he would have hit a line drive at somebody. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was just going to tell you. Pregame begins at 6 tonight. Special 1-hour pregame for the Penguins and the Flyers. Hopefully the Flyers are on the decline. And the Pens moving on up. Try to take a 3-1 series lead tonight at Philly. Pirates are going to join them out in Philadelphia. Take on the Philadelphia Phillies for a 4-game set. I like how they got the logos on there. Let's go Pens. Let's go Bucks here today, trying to salvage 1 game from the Rockies, who have put the brakes on this high octane offense. Number 8 hitting Tachman, the rookie. 0.59 here in the early going. Little check swing. And the shovel play, and Bell came down in time. Thanks, Gravity.
Able to keep toe on there.
Wheel drive RAV fourth inning. Toyota, what drives you?
Maybe the first game. Hey, a good one to come on out for weekday day game. Our UPMC scoreboard has the Rockies up 1-0 as we start the bottom of the fourth. Marte trying to get something going. The Pirates have been quieted by this Rockies pitching staff, which has been quite good, not just in this series, but all year. Just 10 hits so far in the series for the Pirates.
A good idea by Marte. You have that left-handed pitcher out there, and if you have speed, and Marte's one of the fastest guys going down that line, even though he's a right hitter that there is. The lefty's kind of fallen off a little bit to the third base side, so you get that bunt down, make the first baseman have to field it, and then you're just in a foot race. Who can get to the bag? Can you beat the pitcher over there?
Try to help out Chad Kuhl. Oh, hasn't been super efficient, but that's not Kuhl's game. He's not going to go out there and throw 10 pitches an inning. That's not what he does, but he's been effective today. 1 run over 4 innings.
At some point, though, I think he needs to do that. It really, sometime this year, I think that's he needs to kind of transform into that type of a pitcher like Trevor Williams, you know, be a little more at those guys.
So you mean, you know, again, try to have more pitches in the strike zone, in and around the strike zone?
If he wants to take the next step,
I see.
He has to go deeper in ball games. I mean, you point out a couple of times this year that he didn't get enough innings last year to qualify for even the ERA title.
Right. You need 162 innings in 31 starts last year.
But he needs to.
He
needs to cut down those pitches to a certain amount. I mean, I'm not saying he's going to be a guy that goes 7 or 8, 9 innings and gets 2 or 3 complete games a season, anything like that. But he's got to get beyond where he is right now. You know, it's not a huge jump. It's just, you know,
be a guy that's going to get you 6 innings more often than not, than 5 more often than not. Is that kind of what
like
the threshold?
The 2 outs, nobody on Trevor Story at bat.
Great point. Yeah.
I mean, how many pitches was that? 7 or 8 pitches?
8 pitches.
8 pitches, and he ended it bouncing a curveball in the dirt on a 3-2 count for a base on balls. Now he's got to throw more pitches to the next guy. He gets a base hit. Now he's got to throw more pitches to the next guy. He could have thrown 10 less pitches that inning, maybe. Now I'm not saying that Torrey wouldn't have got a hit anyhow. Story, I mean.
Diving play by Gonzalez, robbing Marte, and he tips his cap. How can you not on that good play?
Now when he got the glove underneath that one, that was very close to the grass. Should be able to get a good view of it here. Yeah, he might have been just sliding the glove along the grass.
He's won a Gold Glove 3 times before, Carlos Gonzalez. And with Marte's wheels to lead off an inning, getting on, could have been quite a catalyst. Marte doffing his cap. Now up to Bell to try to muster up something. Elias Diaz, the only Pirates hit so far. After a solid start, Bell's been a little out of sync. I'm curious, you brought up a good point too with, you know, Bell being a switch hitter. Okay, maybe he hasn't been swinging the bat great left-handed. Well, now he's going to bat right-handed 2 or 3 times to start the day.
Yeah, I'm not. I mean, that was kind of a funny thing that I brought up. You know, oh, he's not the same hitter. But most switch hitters aren't. They're 2 different players. Occasionally, you'll see somebody that's the same guy, but that's not what you normally see. Maybe one player is a power hitter. Maybe one player hits for average. Maybe one guy is not very good at one side, and that player eventually is going to get released, and you're going to like Orlando Merced back in the day. His right-handed hitting player was so bad that he got released, and so Merced became he just kept the left-handed guys. I mean, they're 2 different hitters. You know, I was wondering today also that maybe You know, there's kind of two different hitters, but there's the same thought process. Maybe if he hits right-handed and gets a couple hits, confidence comes, and that might do a little something for his left-handed side.
I like the way you think.
But yeah, most switch hitters are not the same guy. They will have maybe a better side, or maybe it's just a different side. I think the power difference is usually what you see more than anything else. Somebody will have pretty good power from one side or the other, and you know, maybe decent average from both sides, but the power will be missing maybe from one side or the other.
Moroff also a switch hitter. He's had a couple of long home runs here left-handed, has Moroff. Freeland is going to hit his 70th pitch here. He hasn't been exactly the most efficient on there either, but he's been effective. And that's a big help right there, getting that 2-out walk. Maybe just that may lead to a run or more here for the Pirates, but gets Freeland a little bit along in his pitch count. Taking a look at some Point Park tweets here this afternoon. We've got a young Bucco fan here. Joey tweeting that out. Glad to have you along here. From Sydney to Pittsburgh. No snow, please. Yeah. Assuming Australia, right? It's a long way to come for a baseball game.
Yeah, they're. I guess it's the fall down there, right?
That's right. Yeah. Opposite seasons. Kids out today. Great time for a field trip too.
Have to go home and rake leaves.
They haven't had Major League Baseball there in a while, so. Was it Dodgers and Diamondbacks, right? Where the Sydney Cricket Grounds a couple years ago. Two-out chance for Sean. 9-pitch walk back in the second inning. Down the line, and this one is gone. A home run. Sean Rodriguez puts the Pirates in the lead. And for the first time in this series, the Pirates have the lead. Home run number 2.
We'll get burned a couple of times in the Twin Series by that short porch. I mean, that's the spot that you can get a real cheap home run here, right down that left field line. And as that ball was hit, I'm like, it doesn't have the distance, but if it hooks, if it keeps hooking and getting closer and closer to the foul pole, it might have a chance to sneak over. And that's what happened. A lot of movement on that ball as he hooks it right into that corner.
350 feet for his second home run and a 2-1 lead. You know, that 2-out walk.
Yeah, one of the runs we've scored, base on ball.
Kind of leaking back over the middle of the plate.
It looked like it got off the end of the bat, maybe just a little bit, not square on the sweet spot, because he came around on it and kind of hooked it. It put the hook spin on the ball also.
Just enough.
About 2 rows.
Good look on our Allegheny Health Network Supermo. And you color in the diamond when they score the run. You got to put Freeze in there too. Another base hit. Diaz 2 for 2.
Well, the catcher's just ripping.
Pirates catchers, the best offensive unit in baseball behind the plate. There's 2-out walks. You just get a feeling like that. I mean, that can lead to some trouble. Cool's done a nice job of getting out of that trouble when he's put some men on with 2 outs, but Freeland did not. And now a visit. Steve Foster to check in with his young pitcher. Rodriguez in the starting lineup for the second straight day.
Pirates are really trying to cut down on running to the video room all the time during the game and looking at stuff. They're doing a lot more, you know, old school. What did you see? What did he do to you? What's his curveball looking like? You know, those kind of things that you did for years and years, decades and decades. And Clint mentioned that, what, about 2 weeks ago?
He mentioned it again today.
Well, the reason I brought it up is I did the, it's Wednesday, so I did the Jeff Branson show and asked Jeff about it, and yeah, he absolutely loves it. He thinks it's great that the hitters are trying to share so much info between themselves.
And Hurdle says that, you know, this, to his memory, might be the best that it's been since he's been here. In terms of just that communication. You know, hey, look, today's society, we look at our phones, we're more insular, right? I mean, you just kind of, we have all the technology, we have everything there, but a good old-fashioned conversation, sometimes you can get a little bit more, a nuance that you can't get just from picking it apart. Plus, it builds that cohesion, the camaraderie that we've been talking about, that the Pirates have had since spring training. And
everybody's just not, you know, you don't have a couple guys here, a couple guys there, a couple guys over in this corner, everybody doing their own thing. It's, that's right now what you're saying with him.
Moroff puts a drive into this one. That's going to head toward the wall.
And it should score a run.
Diaz on his way in, and Max Moroff with an RBI double with 2 outs. 3-1 Buccos. All coming with 2 outs.
Now does Max know the after you get a hit sign yet?
First hit for the Pirates this year for Moroff.
He's got to turn left. Boy, that fastball on the outside half. He did not try to get out and hook it. He's going to hit it where it's at. As soon as you see Blackman turn his back, now you're like, wow, we got a chance to score a run here. I mean, he had a real good read on it. Immediately saw, I can't get this ball. He just turned his back to the infield and started running.
And with 2 outs, Diaz able to score easily. Moroff hit that ball 384 feet. Nice line drive out to center. He showed some power in the second half of last season. Not just home runs, but you know, he's 5'10" and doesn't have that, you know, huge.
He doesn't
build.
look like a power hitter, no.
Yeah. But he's got some sock.
He's surprised us with a couple of the longer home runs we saw.
And Moroff talking with him yesterday about, you know, what has changed. It really started last season, where he always great at drawing walks. He felt he was being too passive, so did Pirates coaches. He just got more aggressive and let that power start to play up a little bit too, still keeping that keen eye at the plate. Some cool fans. Clint Cool, Chad's dad, looking on. I believe that's one of Chad's brothers as well. He's got 2 brothers, 2 sisters. Does Chad, the youngest of 5. It'll be a homecoming after this one for Chad Cool. It'll be a nice father's series for him, because they'll go back. He's from Bear, Delaware, about 50 minutes south of Philly, and he's not going to pitch in the series, so a lot of fun. Just have all fun.
Dallas Green country.
Oh yeah, he got the Dallas Green scholarship at the University of Delaware. Your old manager. Scott Oberg getting up in the Rockies pen. So this goes from just a harmless 2-out walk that doesn't become a 1-2-3 inning for Freeland. Now he's trailing 3-1. Now his pitch counts at 85.
Remember when you said he's got 70 pitches?
Yeah.
That was 15 pitches ago. He's done.
Well, his spot is due up to lead off the 5th. He's probably going to be done. Yeah, you're right. All because of this 2-out rally. And Cool puts it in play. Pirates strike for 3. And Sean Rodriguez with the go-ahead 2-run home run. And the Pirates will take a 3-1 lead into the 5th.
and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Pittsburgh Pirates.
On our UPMC scoreboard, 3-1 Buccos, thanks in large part to Sean Rodriguez, hit 2-out, 2-run go-ahead home run last inning, and hitting it pretty much right down the line as you look at StatCast. Now that hit probability here in this park, well, it's going to be about 100%, right? But in all ballparks, 43%, whereas Moroff's ball has a greater chance of being a hit in all ballparks in Major League Baseball. Hit at 105 miles an hour. More of a line drive type hit, but hey, that's the kind of cool thing about baseball, right? All the dimensions are different.
Well, I think too, if the ball's hit anywhere else on the field, it's a routine fly ball. You got to hit it right down the line to get a home run out of it. So that was more about, pull it down the line than anything else. If he hits that anywhere else, most of the time that's going to be an out. So it's where you hit it can be more important than how far you hit it.
Now Cool gets to work with a lead. Surprise Freeland batting.
A little bit, yeah.
I am too. I already put his line in my book. I'll erase that. Well, he's trailing, and
well, they have a very short bench.
PNC Bank Pirates card saves you on Pirates tickets this season up to $10 Sunday through Friday home games, including 3 different seating options. And on Thursdays, buy one, get one free tickets in the outfield box section. Go to pirates.com/piratescard. That's the, I think
they got
that's
3 guys on the bench.
That's
so
the great point. I
they
forgot
pinch
about
hit
that.
there. Now they got 2 guys for the rest of the game when we're in the 5th. So
Freeland might still, well, now that I guess they don't really have anybody going in the pen.
With 25-man roster, there's no free lunch. If you're going to have all those guys in the bullpen, like the Pirates do, and like the Rockies do, well, then you're going to have a short bench, and you're going to have to think twice about pinch hitting in the 5th.
And because of Arenado's suspension, they have a 3-man bench,
Right.
not a 4-man bench.
It's even worse for them.
You can't replace a suspended player.
They're not even playing with 25. They're playing with 24. So
they have Parra, Valleca, and Walters, the backup catcher. That's it.
There's always, when we're wrong, there's always a reason that it's not really our fault.
Gosh, if we could use that with our wives.
Oh, I do it all the time.
Oh, okay.
What do you mean?
Yeah.
If we could.
3-1 on LeMahieu.
It's never my fault.
To you. Soft liner that's going to drop in. And a 1-out base runner. LeMahieu's first hit tonight. 80th pitch coming up for Cool. Just batted to end the last inning, so he could put together a couple of decent innings and get 6 out of this today. But he's still got to go through the meat of this order. One guy that has scored today for the Rockies, Chris Iannetta, who homered his last time around. The hit probability on that was 1,000%. That's probably not accurate, but hit it 432 feet.
I think it's got to be 100%, doesn't it? I mean, they're going by launch angle and exit velocity. So.
And if there's a dimension in any ballpark that would not favor that, it's probably here, right? Because of the notch out there, but he hit it just to the right of the notch. Out on that blue sign in the bullpen. It's a very deep left center field here. And still, yeah, so StatCast would tell you it is 100% hit probability. Hit it where they ain't. No one's sitting on the roof in the bullpen, so no defenders. Got Ionetta to ground into a double play back in the first.
Missed very high with that slider.
Well, we were talking earlier about you're saying you want COL to kind of mirror Williams in a way, and to try to move through orders a little quicker. That ground ball that we saw back in the first inning, you brought up a good point that when he came up, he's a sinker slider guy, and now he gets a strikeout there, but being able to maybe have the ball put in play a little bit more often.
I'm on record as saying I like the fact that he's throwing really hard now. After missing with that poor slider, he came back with the same pitch. He threw a good one there and got the check swing and the strikeout.
Really good one.
And I like the fact that he's gone to more power stuff, that he uses that curveball, the 95, 96, sometimes even 97-mile-an-hour fastball. I love that. But that doesn't mean you have to give up the ground ball tool that's also in your toolbox. It's not like I can never throw a two-seamer again. No, there's times where, hey, I got a little 2-3 run lead here. I'm going to try and see how efficient I can be. Can I get some quick outs on some ground balls and maybe have a single-digit pitch inning?
Because he certainly got the strikeout stuff. Comes in and hits Blackman. Hit him with a fastball.
Trying to throw a fastball inside corner, and it just got way in there.
We're just talking about the Rockies' short bench, and Gerardo Parra is going to bat for Carlos Gonzalez here.
Huh, I wonder if he did something on that dive.
It's the only thing I can think of.
Yeah, good. I don't get that.
Yeah, so if we get any word, pass that along. Would not be I can't imagine for any other reason. Parra hitless in his last 13. Now let's watch this catch again. He made a nice catch. The wrists there. Fingers look okay. Nothing evident. Parra makes the final out. And the COL family, everybody having some fun here with the Pirates in the lead. One lead. Top of the order coming up. Kyle Freeland's going to get issued another inning.
And they had the bullpen ready all before he threw his first pitch. Their bullpen was already warming up, so very short leash.
Soft liner, and Blackman can't get there. So Frazier aboard with a leadoff single. Pirates fans, you can use your Port Authority Connect card for great deals on tickets. Use your Connect card to save up to $10 on all Sunday through Friday games here at PNC Park. Plus, you can get $10 grandstand seats to Wednesday home games. Go to pirates.com/connectcard. The pierogi race just concluded.
Cheese went.
Cheese Chester.
He could be dominant at times. Didn't look like they're running as far this year. I think they shortened it up a little bit.
You've got a keen eye, don't you? Nothing gets past you.
No, nothing.
Here's Mercer. Scott Oberg, who had been loosening earlier, is back up to Colorado. Well, you brought up a point with Parra having to pinch hit for Carlos Gonzalez last inning. That Bud Black, that might have been the reason why they didn't bat for Freeland, knowing that they're going to have to use Parra for Gonzalez.
If Gonzalez indeed was left because of some sort of injury, then that makes a lot of sense then. Bench is short to begin with.
That'll get through. Base hit for Mercer. Frazier has to put on the brakes. Back-to-back singles to start the fifth. And so whatever happened to Gonzalez, the Pirates benefiting by putting two men on quickly here in the fifth inning. And Bud Black, with that suspension to Arenado, we were hoping that it would benefit the Pirates a little bit more in this series. Here so far it looks like it's having a trickle-down effect. And they're threatening with two men on, nobody out. Pitching change here. Kyle Freeland is out. The Pirates are up. Let's take a look at our lows. Whole team together. The Pirates still leading the National League in slugging percentage. And as a team have several players among the league leaders at the top 25. In fact, 4 slugging over 500. That's a very good threshold. Slugging percentage measures the quality of hits, where batting average measures the quantity of hits. Marte 0 for 2. Carlos Gonzalez made a very good play, ending his hit bid in the last inning. And so 6 of the last 7 Pirates have reached base, 4 with 2 outs in the 4th inning, and the first 2 men here in the 5th. So Freeland done. After 4+. Scott Oberg.
You see, this is game number 7 for him. He's on the 6 2/3 innings. Usually sees an awful lot of work for Colorado. Since coming up in 2015, he's been in 160 games.
Out toward Parra, who took over for Gonzalez this inning after batting for him. And 1 out. Still here in the middle innings. It's not late in the game here in the 5th.
No, it still needs to be broke open somehow with a big hit. The left-handed Josh Bell now into the game.
Bell will turn around, bat left-handed against the right-hander.
That one for Dad.
Hey, there's Ernest. What a great feature about Ernest and Josh working together and working on Bell's hitting. That we saw that last night after Pirates post game. Check your local listings for the next airing. There's a base hit for Bell. Frazier being waved home, and Parra bobbling it makes him score easily. The Pirates lead 4-1. That's all you need to see.
Yep. He's back. Yeah, they just had to set left-handed Bell for a while.
Yeah.
Let him watch a little bit. Gets back up there in the game and smoked this one.
Single and an RBI for Bell, number 11. Ernest likes it.
No, it didn't go overboard with it though. Kind of just like, oh, it did give the little right there at the end. I like that. Just at first though, just a kind of a cool, calm little clap, and then finished it off though. Give it a little. Nicely done, Dad.
Now David Freese. He drew that 2-out walk last inning. First of 4 straight Pirates to reach. And 3 runs came across. Down the line. Falls untouched. That'd be funny if she flipped it way over their heads. No! Throw it 20 rows back. And at the corners with 1 out. David Freese recently playing in game number 1000 in his career. Had to figure it out how many of ball players make it to 1,000 career games. Obviously, because very few pitchers do. Mostly just hitters. Just over 8% of all players that ever play at least 1 game as a major league player make it to 1,000 games. So some rarefied air for Mr. Freese. Make it to 1,000 games as a pitcher. That's quite the accomplishment too.
I wonder how many Teak had.
I was thinking about that. I don't think he made it that high, but I think he's probably in vicinity.
In the neighborhood, yeah.
Oh, he did. Well, Jason Steele tells us 1,050. He was among that group.
Nice.
He got there in his second to last season with the Phillies.
Hey, they call you the rubber band man because you got that rubber arm and you're pitching every day. I knew he had to have a bunch of them.
Honest Wagner, more than 2,000 games played for a position player. I would have to think that now you're really starting to talk about very few. What do you think about your, let's look up your old teammate Pete Rose. He played for about a quarter century. How many games do you think he played? He has the record.
I was going to say 3,000?
3,562.
Oh, wow. That's a bunch.
That's the record. I had to look that up. I knew he had the record. I couldn't remember how many it was. But he played for 25 years.
Yeah. Well, I'm thinking about how many hits he had. And so how many games you have to play to get
4,000.
Over 4,000 hits.
Yeah.
So
4256, is it? Yeah, 4256. But Freese in the 1,000 club now. Sean Rodriguez had a 2-run home run his last time. Waiting in the wings. Nice long at bat for Freese. Pitch number 10 coming up. Well, you were talking about it today. We looked at, you know, maybe one of the reasons why the Pirates offense has scuffled over the last 2 series. The walks. What have we seen today? Right.
Well,
some long at bats.
Yeah, I really hadn't thought about it until I saw the graphic that the guys put up for our open, and I saw, well, okay, walks were cut in half.
And on the 10th pitch, a ball to the wall.
That might be the break it open hit we were talking about.
That'll score them both. A 2-run double for David Freese. What a great at bat for Freese.
One swing of the bat, 3 guys are turning left.
And pulling the ball to left center. That's part of his approach now this season. It's new, it's different for him. Wanting to take advantage of that power.
Well, you know, I was thinking about this about a week ago or so when we were on the last road trip. He was pulling the ball before, but he was always facing foul territory over here. So anytime
with that close stance,
he pulled one back up the middle. That was like most guys pulling the ball into the hole at shortstop because of the way he was always standing. You know, he's so closed up.
Freese last year.
And what do you do when you pull the ball most of the time? You hit it on the ground. That's why you put shifts in the infield, play them the other way in the outfield. And he wanted to hit the ball in the air more this year. So it kind of all makes a lot of sense. When he opens up, now he's not in a position to feel like he's pulling all the time. So he's going to get the ball in the air more often.
Makes a lot of sense. Yeah, Freese last year, one of the top ground ball hitters in all of baseball last year. So wanted to do something about it.
He actually was our best hitter in hitting the ball hard last year. The exit velocity, but maybe didn't pay off in base hits because he was hitting the ball into the ground so often.
Yeah, he's still got plenty of thump in that bat, so he kind of quipped it. You know, he wants to play a long time still.
By opening up, what's changed is the launch angle, the ball coming off the bat, because he's opened up now.
And he said he's a big believer in that. And it's not even just, you know.
But with him, it's not, we're not talking about launch angle where guys are like looping their bat, trying to hit foul balls. Launch angle really is nothing more than the direction the ball goes after it hits the bat. There's all kinds of different ways to achieve that. It's a round bat and a round baseball.
Right. He's not changing his swing.
You don't have to swing up.
He's changing his approach to the swing. And that is the second out. And let's go back to our studios. Check in with Rob King with a game break. Wow, that play is nuts. I can't believe that. What a just goofy play to be able to have two guys to have the ball like that and make the catch. Well, that's why you back up your outfielders, right? Back up one another.
Oh yeah, so you got to be there for them. You never know what might happen in this game.
David Freese has been in the thick of things today with that double, planting a pair. I really like that 2-out walk. I just, just little things like that preceded the 3-run fourth, and then now getting the scoring started by drawing that walk, and then now here, as you put it, Bob, really I mean, it's a 5-run lead in the 5th, but now you're getting to a point where they're not going to be in it very easily.
Right, they're going to have to do something really, unusual to come back and take this game. So, yeah, you were looking. I was looking for somebody get that big hit with guys on base where everybody scores. Really break the game open. That's what you're always looking for.
And the Pirates leading the National League in runs scored so far this year. We talked about the breakdown, and
looking at the scoreboard right now is what I've looked at most of this season already. In the middle of the game, and we already have 6 runs.
We're trying to figure out, what's been going on the last few days. And look, Pirates are not going to average 6 runs a game.
Yeah.
No teams do that.
And I think that
sometimes teams pitch well against you.
I really believe that they got into a little bit of a funk with those 2 real soft tossers they saw the first 2 games in Miami. For whatever reason, it just kind of messed them up for a while.
Well, the Pirates with a 3 spot in each of the last 2 innings. History.
The 3-0 pitch.
I got to hear the call.
Long drive. There it is. Number 500. The career 500th home run for Michael Jack Smith. And the Phillies have regained the lead in Pittsburgh, 8-6. And the Phillies dugout comes swarming out to home plate.
Yeah, 500 for Mike Schmidt, your old teammate Bob. Hit it off of Donnie Robinson. They're staying, and you pitched in that game. Teak got the save, so all's well that ends well.
I didn't pitch well in that game. I was the starting pitcher, and didn't go too well for me. I think I might only saw Schmidt once, maybe twice. I don't know. I didn't stay around too long, but we came back and we had retaken the lead, and then Robbie ended up giving up that home run. And it was early in the year, April, and I was staying with him at that point. Family hadn't joined us yet. either his family nor mine. So we were at his house, and you saw it was a day game, and afterwards, on the way home, I was like talking poorly about myself in my start. And I can remember Robbie saying, "Do you really think I just gave up Mike Schmidt's 500th home run? Do you really think anybody even knows who started that game?" And I'm like, and then I started feeling better about my start because he totally put it out of everybody's mind, and that he
made you feel good about yourself.
Yeah, gave up that home run.
Yeah,
I think that was Teague's 1,000th game that he pitched in. Was that?
It was. Might have been the next. I think it was the next season, '88 with the Phillies.
Well, I was just taking a shot.
Yeah, that's pretty close.
I didn't really know, obviously. I'm just throwing that out there. I wanted to see what your reaction was to it.
Well, I just looked it up. Otherwise, if you had said that 2 hours ago,
yeah, you would have bought into it.
I would have bought it. I'm naive. Yeah, not afraid to admit it. Cool attacking story here. Quickly ahead, 2 strikes after that 8-pitch at bat last time around. I think the 4th inning really a big difference. Cool. As Freeze knocks it down. And a Cool walk Story with 2 outs. And then McMahon followed with a hit. Ray Searage came out. They had a little mound chat. And then I think 2 pitches later the inning was over. And instead with the Pirates get the 2-out walk. And both teams were the bottom of the order coming up.
And I think he's been fairly efficient since that little chat at the mound.
Both teams with the bottom of the order coming up, but the Pirates the ones taking advantage offensively. Michael Feliz starting to get up.
Well, this will be, everything lined up, I think, like the Pirates like it. Chad should get through this inning and then use the bullpen for the last 3. It's usually scripted out.
Yeah, and the way the bullpen is pitched when the Pirates have a lead, except for opening day in Detroit, they've been fine. In fact, really, this last week, the bullpen, 3 runs in 17 and a third inning, so a 1.56 ERA over the last 6 games coming in. So they're starting to right the ship a little bit too, but mostly because they've had the leads, using their top 3 guys. Chad Cool with a very strong outing today. 1 run over 6, and the Pirates lead 6-1.
Is brought to you by Barrel Automotive. Our service centers are now open evenings and weekends. Visit barrelservice.com for more. And by Allegheny Health Network, official medical provider of the Pittsburgh Pirates and fans like you. Let's go Bucks!
And it looks like Chad Kuhl is done for the day. Strong effort. 6 innings for him, just the single run on the Iannetta home run, and Pirates getting some runs for him now.
Watching him the way he pitched, especially the last 2, once after that visit, there's no reason why he couldn't go out there and give you at least 6 innings almost every start. I mean, he's that type of a guy with that kind of stuff that he can. I mean, look at this pretty good offense here he's pitching against with the Rockies. He's given up 1 run, the solo home run. That, as we said, is nothing really. And that's the kind of pitcher he is more than capable of being, what you're seeing this afternoon. And we saw for a lot toward the end of last year.
Yeah,
last half.
Yeah, July on last year, an ERA of 3.38, which the average starter last year 4.49 ERA in baseball. So Kuhl's got it, and he's had long stretches of success and really good success at the major league level. Harnessing a lot of that today. And he'll be done after 6 with Moran coming up. You know, the other thing is too with Kuhl, and you alluded to this before we got started today. I mean, his stuff's good enough. He can challenge hitters.
Oh, yeah.
And he threw a lot of pitches today right down the middle, you know, that were either taken or swung through and missed.
Especially early in a game where, like, the solo home run's not going to hurt you. And then late in the game, if you got a cushion to work with, where the solo home run is not going to hurt you in that spot either.
Moran coming off the bench with a base hit. He's going to try for 2, and Moran, the rookie, with a pinch hit double.
But that's what you're worried about when you really go after a guy, even if you got good stuff. He might hit the ball out of the ballpark. So if there's nobody on base, or you have a 5-run lead and there's nobody on base, and it's, you know, later in the game, then okay, here, hit this in the river, or maybe you're going to pop it up. Maybe you're going to take it for strike 1. Who knows? But use those times in the game to try to conserve your pitches, because there's going to be some point in the game where you won't be able to do that. You're going to have to be making some really good pitches, and maybe you're going to have to spend a few.
Kuhl today with 8 swings and misses, 19 called strikes too. So much better being in the zone, in and around the zone. Early, some of those yanked fastballs, didn't see that hardly in the last 4 innings or so. Frazier has one roll through. Moran's going to be waved home. He's scoring on the RBI single by Frazier, and it's 7-1.
Everybody's happy.
Yeah, the Pirates bats have reawakened here in the series finale. This is a good offense.
It's deep as far as the hitters. Up and down the lineup. You know, maybe not deep in power hitters, but deep in guys that could go up there and hit and give you base hits.
That was the design of this team, is to try to, get guys to, continually roll over the lineup. And then all of a sudden baseball changed with the immediate advent of power throughout the game when the Pirates were caught behind, but a little bit better power this year. Healthier guys that are in the lineup in Marte's case. So now you have a chance at extra base power and home run power periodically throughout the lineup, and of course some thumpers in there too. So it seems like that this lineup should, no, every lineup's going to have lulls, but it seems like this lineup should be much improved. Now, will they be the top offense in the National League? That remains to be seen. Of course, these Rockies have not been home very much this year. But will it be improved over last season? I think that's without question. And they needed to be. They were among the least performing offenses in baseball last year, were the Pirates.
Yeah, that was the place that they needed to improve the most. People would ask me in the offseason, what would you like to see? I would like to see us score a lot more runs than we have the last couple of years.
Remember that series last April in St. Louis? Pirates lost 2-1, 2-1, and 2-1. And you're thinking, we got the pitching, and the Pirates did have an above average starting rotation. Bullpen was good last year, but couldn't hit. And a number of reasons for that. But now I think, you know, starting pitching's a year older. We're even seeing guys take that next step forward.
And I think that
could be good.
It's still very early to really say what this offense is going to end up being overall. I mean, we saw them struggle the last few days, so you know, the jury is still going to be out for a while. I mean, heck, I think you're going to have to get, you know, deep into May before you really start feeling, okay, this is what we got for the whole season.
Totally agree.
But
it's going to be improved. It's just how much.
For right now, it's looking like what everybody was hoping for.
There's Ivan Nova. And Starling Marte 0 for 3 today. Really could have had a better fate. And a nice diving catch by Gonzalez in the 4th. Ended up leaving the game the next inning. He was pinch hit for by Gerardo Parra. Still no word on why Gonzalez was lifted. There's Parra out and right.
Yeah, I keep waiting for the, you know, eventually you hear something.
We'll go figure today.
Could be manager's decision.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
Well, Marte came in 8 hits in his last 12. Every Pirates spot in the order has a hit today, with Moran's pinch hit double in that 9 spot. Cool, the only other Pirate to bat today without a hit. He went 0 for 2. And Kyle Crick will be the first out of the Pirates bullpen, leading by a half dozen. Frazier singling in Moran for his 2nd straight hit. Pirates had 5 hits over the first. That's not right, is it? Yeah, 5 hits. No, they had. My math is off. Why am I not working with Rock? He can add all this stuff up so much better. What's 4 plus 5?
8.
Okay, so the Pirates had 9 hits. First 2 games of the series, and they've got 10 today. Well, you had some advice for Jeff Branson today, right?
Yeah, I mean, every Wednesday we have a pregame interview with Jeff, and because we haven't been hitting of late, you know, had some tougher questions, and he, as always, very forthright with his answers.
Pirates have another. They're up 7-1. music from Vance Joy as we take a look on our Allegheny Health Network Super Bowl. Pirates have a 7-1 lead as we begin the 7th. As we see the river, now we see a creek.
Yes, we do. Creeks are a lot smaller than rivers.
Yes. Kyle Crick, brought up from the minor leagues a few days back. Mike Tachman to lead it off for Colorado. And another shovel play there from Max Moroff.
Yeah, the other one was a little more of a simple because it wasn't going to be close. It could very easy. This one here, not much of a choice unless he was going to go bare hand. Once he decided to go glove, he had to go glove to glove.
He can handle it with the glove too. Natural shortstop. Played some second and third as well.
Playing a little flip there. I wonder if that's still a popular game in the minor leagues. Even for a while at the big league level, guys would do that, but in the minor leagues, it was every single day for hours. Guys go out and play flip. You get in a big circle all over your gloves, and you just do that back and forth. Kind of baseball's version of hacky sack.
Yeah, I'm not sure. You know, my days announcing, didn't see a whole lot of that. I think today's player doesn't do a lot of that kind of stuff.
No flip.
Yeah,
no flip game.
Pepper, you know, those little.
Yeah, I know a pepper. That's been gone for a while. But
yeah.
The flip game was absolutely huge. You couldn't wait to get. Guys would get special gloves. They'd get the little infielders gloves, the little tiny ones, just for the flip games. Oh,
Jerry Davis kicked the ball away.
Kicked the ball away. Just as Diaz was about to pick it up, Davis gave it an extra kick.
Incidental. And so that allows Valleca to reach. Have to account for the runner reaching, so it's a wild pitch.
Should be a pass ball, shouldn't it?
They might change it.
All right. This will probably show it. There's the ball. Boom, there's the kick.
You want it? Go get it. No, it's accidental. He's trying to get out of the way. So strikeout, wild pitch allows the pinch hitter Pat Valleca to reach ahead of LeMahieu.
They got to change that. The ball didn't bounce or anything. Just missed it.
The ball ends up rolling foul. Now, if Bell charges that ball, he might be able to pick that up in fair territory.
Yeah, he was waiting for it, and just before it got to the glove, it went foul.
Hard to know how it's going to go, but sometimes you'll see infielders do that, right? Or let it go if if you want it to end up rolling foul.
I mean, I think that if he had that to do over, he would have taken a couple of quick steps forward and got that ball before it went in fair territory, and then you'd have the second out before it went into foul territory. Might have said that wrong.
We know what you meant.
Yeah. And that's what's the important part. That's why I tell everybody when they say, I don't ever understand what you're saying. But you know what I mean, though. And they, yeah, oh, okay then. See?
That's the whole point of communication.
All works itself out.
Another breaking ball from Crick. He's tried to slow that breaking ball down a little bit with the Pirates. That's been one of the things that they've worked on with him. Originally called a slider, but really that's morphed into a curveball now. It's Sometimes he'll throw it into the 70s to couple that mid-90s fastball.
So I always think that the slider and the curveball, what makes them difference is the way they come out of the hand.
Okay.
And the slider, at least in my opinion, always comes off the tips of your fingers. You're pulling down to the side, and that's giving it that spin, and it's still coming off the tips of your fingers. With a curveball, you're throwing it like this, and it's coming over the top of your fingers, and that's what's giving the spin for the breaking. So if it comes out over the top of your fingers, it's curveball. If it's coming off your fingertips, it's a slider.
Doesn't matter the velocity,
No,
right? It's just
to me, the difference is the grip.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I mean, AJ Burnett, he threw his curveball at like 84 miles an hour.
Very hard curveball.
Yeah, but he could. In fact, I think he threw the. Didn't he throw with the knuckle? It doesn't matter, but still, it's coming up over the top on release. It's not being where you're just pulling it down on the side.
In case you're wondering, the last strikeout, even though it got away from Diaz with the first base occupied and fewer than 2 outs, you don't have to tag out or throw out a runner at first base.
All right. If that was the case, you could just drop every one of them and have a double play. Drop strike 3, throw to second, throw back to first, inning over.
It's like, wait, a strikeout. How did I get a double play out of that? Yeah, so that's why we saw that play happen twice in a row, but one time they had to throw and one time they didn't.
Now there's no double play here, so with 2 outs, now you're back to where you got to throw again.
Or you could just have the ball put in play. We don't have to talk about 15th century Germany again, or wherever it originated that you showed me last year. So Crick gets out of it, and we'll take a stretch and enjoy all the festivities here at PNC Park on what is turning out to be a gorgeous spring afternoon. Let's join public address announcer Tim Tobacco.
We invite you now to stand and follow the bouncing Eat Park Smiley Cookie as we sing "Take Me Out to the Ball Game."
Jamison Town, nice pitching matchup for tomorrow's action at 6:30. MLB Network will carry the game on Friday. Saturday at 3:30 for our coverage, and then Sunday afternoon at 1 o'clock, all right here, or 3 out of 4 at least, on AT&T Sportsnet. Pirates leading 7-1. Chance to smile some more again. Been a tough couple of games here to begin against the Rockies, with the Pirates looking to salvage one. Antonio Senzatela coming on. Third Rockies pitcher this afternoon. Josh Bell with an RBI single his last time around. That's lefty again. for 3 afternoon. Senzatela last year had that great start to the season. He was the Rookie of the Month in April as part of their rotation, but then started to fall on some hard times and ended up being moved out of the rotation as the year went on, and has fared better out of the Rockies' pen. Another one of these young pitchers in this Rockies staff. They've got a slew of young guys. He just turned 23 in his 2nd season now. Got a piece of that, knocked off the mask of Iannetta.
Well, as you were saying the other day, they've really done or at least they're trying to really upgrade their bullpen and kind of solidify that. Which I guess when you play at Coors Field is an important thing to have, is a bullpen that can come into a ball game, because you're probably not getting the innings out of your starters that you might in other places. So you got a big bullpen, and you want a lot of quality down there.
See that 25 patch on Senzatela? They've been playing baseball 25 years there. They've been trying to figure out how to pitch, and I think they finally got the recipe right. They've tried all sorts of different things.
I like this idea. It makes a lot of sense to, put some of their resources more than they have in the past in bullpen pitchers, relief pitchers.
Instead of trying to go out and, when they signed Mike Hampton to that big deal, for instance, or, whoever it was, not just to single out Hampton.
Yeah, they've tried that more than once.
To go out and purchase the top free agent starting pitcher. Well, they've brought these guys up through their systems. The guys that have, they go pitch in Albuquerque and at elevation. In fact, Freeland, the starter today, grew up in Denver, so he's plenty used to pitching at elevation. Bud Black, they go get a manager who was a pitcher and an accomplished manager too. So things like that, where they are a pitching and largely defense team that also can mash. And I think it's interesting that that they brought up most of these starters through their system, if not all of them, in fact, and then augmenting it with this veteran bullpen guys. They're my pick to win the division this year. I know the Dodgers are the team. I just think because of that offense, the guys that are coming up, getting better, and now that they've solidified it with the back end of the pen, I think they're going to win the West. Well, we'll see.
We shall see what the story ends up being.
MLB At Bat, that's your #1 Pirates app. You can customize your experience to catch every moment this season. Catch Pirates home screen icons and features such as the MLB.TV Game of the Day, which is today, in fact, this one. Pitch tracking, in-game highlights, live radio broadcast, stats, news, and a whole lot more. Download MLB At Bat today. Billy Murillo right below us. Hey, Bill.
Billy.
Yeah.
He'll be up here with us. He'll be up with us in a little bit.
Oh, there's Terry up there. Terry, roving all the time, finding
getting
cool shots for us.
Good shot of those flowers right there, looks like.
Oh, yeah.
There they are.
Yeah. I was like, well, how did we get a picture of Bill? Someone's going to be shooting Bill, right? I appreciate everybody.
Well, you know who is enjoying this day more than anybody else? It's the camera guys.
Chad and Troy yesterday were talking to Chad today, and he's saying how they dress for it out there. It still doesn't make it easy.
It doesn't matter. It's not like they get to go and warm up in between innings or for a half inning. They actually they have to be out there.
What's this in the sky? This ball of fire.
The entire game.
It is windy atop the batters. I'm really windy up there, they were saying, and I just admire the heck out of all our guys and gals that work camera, because how often do we have just perfect weather out there? There's some nice days out there. Most of the days, though, you're dealing with something.
And then if it's really nice, then it gets smoky.
Oh, yeah, the concourse is.
It's still cool.
Yeah, okay.
Back in the shade.
Yeah. Breeze whipping through there, too. Yeah, it's with great admiration. How about Sean Rodriguez drawing 2 walks today? They'll go along with his go-ahead home run.
You know, that's something we're going to have to, I think, just for fun, keep a little more watch on the base on balls. See what kind of a correlation it has with our offense.
We looked at that stat earlier too. That, you know, the strikeouts hadn't really gone up all that much, but the walks had declined quite a bit.
By half.
Yeah, and of course it's a small sample size, but maybe it's indicative of something else.
Just something to watch.
A lot of people that monitor prospects in the minor leagues, they like to look at, for hitters, the walks and the strikeouts, and if they're, you know, kind of close to even or closer to even, maybe that's a sign that they can hit. You know, if you're just looking at that number, and maybe that's kind of a small indicator of any, you know, a big league team and their ability, right? That might be.
Well, that's one of the things I think that John always talks about when in our little discussions about who's hot, who's getting hot, who might start hitting. When he sees somebody start taking easily without even flinching balls that are just like maybe this far off the plate, you know, like Marte has been doing a lot of over the last couple of weeks. For him, that's a true sign that the hitter is locked in, that he's seeing the ball very well, when he's just easily to say, oh, nope. And you're looking in there, you know, on our view from center field camera, and you're thinking, wow, that just missed by 2 inches, a real hard slider. How did he not even like check swing at that? And that's the explanation, and it makes a lot of sense that guy's locked in. He's seeing the ball so well that he's not even tempted to chase after that pitch that's outside.
There's John Wader doing some research for his next half inning.
Yep. Oh, I just waved back at him. Did you wave?
Oh, can he see us?
I used to watch a romper room. I used to think that the teacher could see us.
Great reference. 2-out walk left on. Pirates up a half dozen.
Eighth inning. He has a long-standing relationship with Pirates closer Felipe Vasquez, and earlier he discussed what exactly that relationship is.
Oh, my relation with Felipe is like great because we have like he signed 1 year after me, and we're going together to United States and stay in the spring, and then we live together in internationally during 4 years.
Both guys came up in the Tampa Bay Rays organization. Joe and Bob, I know, Bob, you might be able to speak a little more about this, but how much might that help a guy when a guy like Enny Romero comes over and he has such a familiarity with a guy like Felipe Vasquez, might help him acclimate a little bit to the clubhouse and to the city a little bit?
Oh, I agree with you 100% on that. That's a great thing to have, is somebody that you already know over there that's spent some time.
And in those days too, right? When you're first coming up. And
yeah. Was it you I was talking to about that? Was it just yesterday over on the TV about the relationships that you make those first few years in professional ball at the minor league level?
Yeah, we were talking about that a little bit.
They're kind of like maybe
like
looking back on
saying,
college friends, the same type way, and that's neat. The two of them can sit there and reminisce about their first moments together in professional sports or professional baseball.
Yeah, and for Romero, Vasquez, the closer, that's always kind of the captain down in there in the bullpen, so he could help. They're both left-handed, they both throw hard, and it's funny. Vasquez was talking about how Romero, a year older, he looked up to Romero and helped him kind of at first, and now they're helping each other as they go along in different spots in their careers. Romero's 27. He throws very hard.
I like the way that Neil has responded to this early season, bullpen hiccup that just didn't kind of sit around and say, well, they'll get better. No, he's doing some different things, changing the faces out there, acquiring some other talent like Romero.
And the guys that have been sent down, they don't have to stay down forever. If they pitch well down at AAA and there's a spot for them, they can come back up. And so, but don't just stay with the same results. Yeah, great point. And the bullpen has turned it around over the last month, or last week, I should say. I beg your pardon. And have performed much better after Parra doubles off the lefty.
There has to be, some accountability when things aren't going well and you're not pitching well, you're not hitting well, you're not playing well. You're going to get sent down. And there's always that revolving door where it moves around, so you better go down there with the right attitude. If you go down there with a bad attitude, well, then get used to the place. Go ahead and put down a nice deposit on a long lease, because you're going to be there for a while. But if you go down there and realize, hey, I didn't do the job, I didn't pitch as well as I needed to, I didn't hit as well as I needed to, whatever the case may be, well then, you turn it around and they're going to reward you.
Yeah, it's confined it.
He's having an awfully tough time with Jerry, isn't he?
Plate umpire, Jerry Davis. Had a ball that was kicked away that ended up being a strikeout on a wild pitch. Now they'll use the mound to visit here. Slider,
and he was looking fastball. That's what happened there.
Romero's Pirates debut.
See how late the glove was going after the ball, because he thought it was going to be a fastball. Crossed up, went out and talked about it. Used up a visit, which is fine.
Mound visits don't count on cross-ups if you've exhausted all your mound visits. But at this point, got plenty left. No big deal.
We can't call them Joes anymore, by the way.
Did they change the?
They're just regular numbers now.
Oh my. Well, we'll always remember.
Yeah, the early Joes.
They use blocks to compute the mound visits. Easy 95 there from the lefty Romero. That's what Clint Hurdle was talking about. Why the Pirates placed a claim on Romero. He throws hard, and he's had trouble with walks in his career, but got him down. There's the mound visits remaining, but got him down to a workable number last year. With a big lead, they give up the run for the out. Desmond with a run batted in. A 3.5 ERA last year for the Nationals.
Here's the thing: you don't just easily pick somebody up this time of year unless there's some kind of something that you're going to have to work on. But you have to believe, hey, we have the coaching that has got a track record here, so we're not afraid to go out and get some guys that maybe have to be adjusted a little bit to have success. They need to do maybe it's just one thing, and and it'll make a lot of difference. And now it's gone sometimes from making a poor pitcher into a usable pitcher. We've had poor pitchers become stars.
In the case of his former teammate. That's an infield hit for Story. That shattered bat. Now, I'm not saying that, you know, he's going to ascend to Vasquez's level, but
well,
similar kind of deal where you had a hard-throwing lefty who can throw strikes.
Couldn't get a handle on that ball. But it has, and I'm not naive enough to say we've fixed everybody. I mean,
of course not.
There's been guys that we've gotten, and it just hasn't worked. But there is enough of a track record that is certainly worth going after and getting arm talent and seeing if you can maybe make that adjustment. It starts things clicking.
Go ahead and put him as your 8th man in your bullpen and see what happens for a little while. And work with him and see. See if he'll move up in the pecking order. Right on the edge there. Romero out of Santo Domingo in the Dominican Republic was played in the Futures game, the All-Star Showcase of Prospects back in 2012 as he was coming up in that Rays system. And he takes care of McMahon. But the Rocks get a run. It's a 7-2 Pirate lead in the 8th.
Sportsnet is brought to you by the Chevy Silverado and your Western PA Chevy dealers. And by Levin's, the official furniture and mattress supplier to the Pittsburgh Pirates. For the best quality, service, and value, shop Levin's. Let's go Bucks!
Here in Pittsburgh, Pirates have a 7-2 lead on our UPMC scoreboard. Good to see on the right there Sean Graham, the brother of our associate director Tyler Graham, and an unnamed Buddy on the left. I think it did.
Buddy, that's his name.
Okay, yeah. Probably shouldn't identify him. It might be supposed to be at work today, right? The businessman special today, the old phrase from a long time ago.
I haven't seen a coat and tie in the park. Have you?
Pirates? No, I don't see a coat and tie anywhere here in this ballpark. There's nowhere today. Oh, there's one. See one.
John will have to put one on too.
Oh yeah. Once he's done researching.
Coat and tie flight.
right now a little more relaxed.
He's already moved on, I think, to the Penguin game. He's thinking about it.
Yeah. Don't forget, coming up tonight, Bucks and Pucks playoff edition. First round series against the Flyers. Game 4 tonight. Andy Romero. Looks like they want to see him for 2 innings, so pitcher spot next. Usually relievers don't get that many opportunities to bat. He's had 1 career plate appearance. Do you think he brought bats with him?
No, it's got
Drew Hutchison, the former Pirate farmhand. Okay, now with the Phillies, of all things, Pirates' next foe. He's going to take it with him and give it back to him. Unless he gets a hit, then he'll keep it.
I think Bones keeps a couple dozen emergency bats back there. I think that probably is one of them.
I would say this qualifies as an emergency. No, I'm just kidding. We'll tell you about the Bucks and Pucks doubleheader today here on AT&T SportsCenter. Yes, game 4 tonight. First round series between the Pens and the Flyers. Penguins looking to take a 3-game-to-1 lead in the series, and our coverage begins with a special 1-hour pregame show starting at 6 tonight from Philly. Pens and the Flyers. Looking forward to being in Philly tonight. Got my Pens hat. Be watching that one. These guys are looking forward to salvaging a game here against the Rocks. Pirates had won or tied every series beginning this season, the first 5. They haven't done that since they won or tied the first 7 series of the '92 season. Last time the Pirates won the division. Sidney Crosby jersey. Eddie Romero with his first major league hit, and it's going to be for extra bases. Dance around those bags, Eddie. You got yourself a double.
Look at him turning left. Oh, yeah, that's the truck. Just told me he's turning right. Yeah, they got to work on that. Oh, look at him toss that bat. He knows he's got extra bases.
That was slugged out there. Oh.
There you go. I mean, this is the kind of stuff that drives the that good feeling in the clubhouse we've been talking about, the chemistry.
Take that any day for Romero. A double, his first major league hit. Just his 2nd plate appearance in his career. At age 27. And for 2 bases. That was no cheapie. So I don't think Drew's getting his bat back when they go to Philly.
That bat will it'll go home somewhere.
All right, let's look at StatCast. He hit it over 100 miles an hour.
I can throw it 100, he can hit it 100. The Century Man.
Eddie Romero with a double. Frazier wants him to get a workout. He'll just go to 3rd on that base hit. 3 straight singles for Frazier.
You see him hold up there and wait until he saw the ball was going to drop before he took off. It actually looks like he's played the game.
Not all pitchers are that
see
savvy
there,
on the bases.
Pretty big too. Watch him hold up. Right there, wait, just a little bit of a pause. Make sure that ball's going to get down the grass. Joey pointing out where the baseball is. Just stay there. Ball's in the infield.
Knows that there's one out, right? Can't just go. So Frazier 3 straight singles now, a 3-for-5 day with a 5-run lead. Trying to get that double play ball here, the Rockies are. Mercer with a 1-for-4 afternoon. You know, Mercer's thinking to himself, all right, I got to hit a nice deep fly ball so Romero could trot home and get back in that dugout.
That's deep.
That's certainly a deep fly ball. That will work, and here comes Romero to score. His first major league run as well.
A lot of stuff going on today.
He'll get a lot of high fives.
Hitting, running, scoring runs, pitching.
Nice job by Mercer to bring him in. How about his Pirates debut, right?
A happy man right there.
No swing. Oh, how many guys hit a double in their debut with the team, right?
Right.
Especially for a pitcher.
That's you were going to ask me. How many guys, after they score, take the jacket off?
Yeah, he probably worked up a sweat running around the bases there.
Tell Marte, hey, how come when you were hitting with 2 outs, Romero took his jacket off?
Of all people today, Marte 0 for 4 after coming in 8 for his last 12 at the plate. But the teammates definitely picking him up today. And a Romero with a double. Comes back to make it 3-2.
Right down the middle.
Bell will get a try next.
Marte's hoping that he throws another one right there. This 3-2 pitch.
Another one from Mike Dunn. It's already been a good day for Romero because of that double. He'll go out, pitch out second inning of relief. Gave up a run and then scored one himself. Mercer coming through with good situational hitting. Marte will work the walk. And as you enjoy a Miller Lite, look forward to the whole true moment later in today's game. Pirates offense started off quietly over the first 3 innings. 3 runs in the 4th, 3 more in the 5th. Single scores in the 6th, and now another here in the 8th. Bell with a 2-out chance here. He drove in one with a single back in the 5th. Well, good way to start off that dad's trip, huh?
always seem to play well for the dads.
Feel like it, right? Sons want to impress their fathers. They'll all travel to Philadelphia together. The Pirates charter across the state. Nice, easy, quick flight. And then they'll be there in the clubhouse and at the games for that 4-game series. Pirates have fared very well on the road this year already. Pirates with a 7-2 road record. I was looking it up today, Bob. The Pirates in the second half after the All-Star break last year, they won 10 road games. And they've already won 7 on the road. We're halfway through April. Got to win on the road, right? I mean, what do you want to do? What, 2 out of 3 at home and split on the road?
Yeah, that's what the old adage is. You play 500 on the road.
But you got to at least play 500 on the road. You know,
yeah.
The Pirates were not able to do that last season. That was really slipped away from them last year as the year went on. And you know,
yeah, if the Rockies could play 500 on the road, you'd think they'd win every year.
Right. They're 9-4 away from Coors. That might be a key to their potential success, trying to get back into the postseason.
By the way, I just got a text from Dan in California, and he likes.
Were you taking calls now?
He likes the Rockies, but he said that his money's on the Diamondbacks.
That's not a bad bet either, I'd say. Good guess. Parra couldn't get there and hangs up long enough. Frazier with 2 outs scores easily. So does Marte, and give Bell 2 more RBIs. 10-2 Buccos.
Not a boring gap shot, you know, that we saw to start all this off. But this is a nice little broken bat double. You know, when you've been scuffling to get some hits, and this is nice. You don't hit one all that hard, but it's in a perfect spot. Ends up falling in. I'm sure that the what would you hit probability is probably not real high on that one when it came off the bat. Hit probability was only 7% on that ball. So that was a fortunate hit.
The Pirates are getting their share of luck now after dry spell over the first 2 games of the series. David Freese really a catalyst today. Worked a 2-out walk. Seated a 3-run 4th inning and then a 2-run double. That capped a 10-pitch at bat in the 5th, and that's as you characterize it, that was really kind of the started to make it more one-sided at that point. Take it from a 3-run lead to a 5-run lead. That's a different feel to it. Josh Harrison wishing he was out there. Undoubtedly, he'll be back probably around the 1st of June. So Adam Frazier and company in his stead. Frazier getting started right today. We've seen Frazier, Rodriguez, and Moroff get the start at second in the 3 games that Harrison has missed so far. Moroff had an RBI double today. Rodriguez playing in left field had a 2-run home run, worked a couple of walks, and Frazier with 3 singles today. There's Moroff.
All the bench guys get in the ball game, and we got 10 runs on 13 hits. Nice job, fellas.
I will underline that. Yeah, Rodriguez putting the Pirates in the lead with that home run right down the left field line, and that kind of made you feel, okay, all right, maybe the offense can come, and it sure did quite quickly. The Pirates had not led in the series until his home run. Pirates had led at some point in every game this season prior to this Rockies series. No Corey Dickerson today, got the day off. And Freese retired on strikes. Pirates are done in the 8th, but they score 3 times. Highlighted perhaps by the first major league hit by Eddie Romero, and he scores a run. Save that bat. At 10-2, they lead the Rockies. Been a fun one here today. Eddie Romero. Anytime, right? Pitchers who rake. Something I know you like to see, Bob.
Absolutely.
Eddie Romero, a career .500 hitter now. Oh, capable of doing anything that he wants on the baseball field, right? Anytime. That is his given name, Enny. E-N-N-Y.
He comes in for the bullpen. It's anytime.
That's clever. I like it. First Pirate ever to wear number 72. There was a time where only in spring training you'd see that number. Then I think the first, I don't know this for a fact, but I think the first certainly notable player to wear that number was Carlton Fisk. He was with the Red Sox. He was number 27, and then
he flipped it over.
Joined Chicago. No Pirate had worn it until today. Tony Walters, the last man on the Rockies bench. Tachman down on strikes. And after the game, the Pirates will head back out on the road to open a 4-game series with the Philadelphia Phillies. We should have a great pitching matchup for you tomorrow. Jamison Tyone against Jake Arrieta. And our coverage begins at 6:30 with Pirates pregame presented by WB Mason. Jamison Tyone, among the best in baseball. Great start. 0.89 earned run average. Two strikes on Walters.
Some ugly swings on that breaking ball from these left-handed hitters.
Now the splits last season for Romero don't necessarily show that, but in theory, lefties are usually better against left-handers.
You know what I think sometimes happens with left-handed relievers is that the only lefties that they face are the better hitting lefties.
That makes sense, yeah.
Because if they're not, then they get pinch hit for it. Now, this scenario is a little different. Game's out of hand. You're not going to do any pinch hitting now. But that sometimes, I think, will make those numbers a little different.
That makes a lot of sense. He's struck out 3 in a row now. Glenn Hurdle has said at least to start, the plan is, and the plan can change very quickly in a bullpen, that Romero will be used in middle relief, not necessarily just against lefties. Rockies with a lot of lefty bats in there today, though. So a good chance to make his Pirates debut. He's already got a hit and a run scored. And a chance to close out a 10-2 victory. DJ LeMahieu 1 for 3, 2 for 4. No one with a higher batting average in the National League over the last 4 seasons. Not the name you'd probably expect atop that list.
You know, when you think about it, you might say, "Oh, wait a minute, I better go with a Rocky." But I agree. You know, anytime at first blush, that wouldn't be the roll off my lips right away at that question. But he certainly is a valuable two-way player when you think of what he can do with the bat and the fact that he's so good with that glove out at second base. Jogs down to that bag at second base.
Familiar. Fielder's choice is how you score the indifference. Chris Iannetta homered earlier today. That gave the Rockies their only lead. The Pirates bouncing back offensively this afternoon. Now the Parrot knows. Cool, calm, and collected today. That stays in play. And Frazier able to track it down, and the Pirates off to a 12-6 start as they're able to take a game from the Rockies, and those bats are back.
Yeah, this was an important game, I think. If you can have an important game at this time of season, just because of the fact that for the first time you're going to lose a series and you don't want to get swept. So they came out and got a pretty good pitching effort from Cool, especially those last couple innings. He really got it together and pushed himself, got through those 6 innings, and then the bats gave him all the help he needed and more so. So this was a feel-good win, I think.
Well-deserved win for Cool and the gang. The Pirates will head to Philly, take a 1 out of 3 from the Rockies. They are 12-6. Plenty to talk about in this one, so let's go out to Rob and Michael.
Joe and Bob, thanks very much. We'll be checking back in with Joe and Bob, and I think the point they bring up is an important one. We talked about it in the pregame show. Look, you're going to have losing streaks over the course of the season, but anytime you can, avoid being swept, that means 2 games difference in the standings, 1 and 2 versus 0 and 3.
No doubt, and the biggest thing is they get that momentum shift. They got a little bit of rest for their starters. The bench guys really stepped up today. It's a huge win for the Buccos. You saw Cool being his cool, collected himself, doing his thing today.
All right, let's head downstairs where Robbie Inzbikowski's with one of the heroes from today, Sean Rodriguez.
Sean Rodriguez, he had the 2-run home run today for the 12-6 Pittsburgh Pirates. What a start it is for the Buccos here in 2018. But Sean, 12-6 to get things started in the month of April. What has led to that collectively?
I mean, everybody's just trying to do their job. Everyone's showing up to play and taking it 1 pitch at a time and 1 game at a time, not getting too far ahead of ourselves.
Certainly it deflates a little bit of the bubble when you see Josh Harrison go down, though he's going to be out for a month and a half, up to a month and a half. How do you guys collectively fill the void that he leaves, both in the clubhouse and on the field, or can't you?
I mean, he's unique. I mean, that's not someone you basically can replicate, but he'll be the first one to tell you. I mean, next man up. So whoever's there and available obviously has to pull their weight too. What
about with you? You've been doing this a long time, so you've been there, done that. But not knowing where you might play, when you might play on a given day, you, Adam Frazier, is going to be a committee of guys replacing Josh at second base and in the lineup. What's your approach day to day here?
The same as it's always been, just show up ready to play. I mean, I'm not looking to not play every day, so if you show up ready to play every day and you're in the lineup, you're ready to go.
What was it like in the dugout? Enny Romero, in his second big league plate appearance, rips a double into the right center gap. What's going on in the dugout when that happens?
I'm sure there's a lot of guys thinking the game ain't that easy, but that's good for him. We're excited. I told him to put the bat and the ball away.
Yeah, That's exactly right. He used Drew Hutchison's bat for that one. How about his pitching performance, and what might he be able to bring to the bullpen?
I mean, he's a guy with some great stuff. I mean, he's been in some big games. I think his first ever big league appearance, I was there for it in Tampa, and it was a game that we needed to win to get in the postseason.
12-6. What a start. Thank you, Sean Rodriguez.
No, absolutely. My pleasure.
Rob, how about that? Sean Rodriguez and the Buccos. He goes yard. Chad Kuhl gets the win, and the Buccos are off to Philly with a win.
Yeah, nice start to the season, Robbie. Thanks very much. Robbie will be inside the Pirates clubhouse gathering more post-game sound for the post-game show. And he was part of our Miller Lite Hold True moment, and that is the work of this offense. Michael, the top-ranked offense in the National League coming into this series, they'd only scored 2 runs combined in the first 2 games. They explode for 10 here this afternoon.
Yeah, they ran into some bad weather and some really good pitching the first 2 nights. Today they stepped up. All the guys we talked about in the pregame stepped up big. The bench was huge today. They found a lot of barrel today. They draw some walks, extended guys. They got to Freeland early, and boom, everything happened in tumble effect today. It was great to see these Pirates really get it going today and take it into Philly.
Pirates win by the final score of 10-2 to snap this brief little 2-game losing streak and to salvage a win in this series from the Colorado Rockies. Coming up on Pirates postgame presented by the Allegheny Health Network, we'll have highlights from this game. You'll also hear from manager Clint Hurdle and others that Robbie will talk to inside the Pirates clubhouse. We're going to talk about the work of the bench, what an excellent job they did. Of course, can't forget about Chad Kuhl. We'll talk to Bob and Joe about Chad Kuhl's performance and more coming up next on Pirates postgame.